Welcome to my presentation on Understanding by Design. We're going to talk about the process for Stage 2. Just to recall information from Stage 1, in Stage 1, what we have done is we've identified our outcomes, our desired results, our goals. And then in Stage 2, we're going to develop ways to assess those goals, to assess whether students have achieved that deep learning that we are looking for. There are essentially two ways of assessment that we're going to focus on in Stage 2. First is the performance task. Performance task would be assessments where students are going to really demonstrate meaning making and demonstrate transfer. So they're going to focus on high learning, higher order thinking, and they're going to be able to use that information perhaps in a different context independently. So for performance tasks, what you really want to look at are what we refer to as the six facets. Those are very helpful when you are creating a task for your students. The six facets involve explanation, interpretation, application, perspective, empathy, and self knowledge. So, as you are thinking about ways that students can demonstrate their learning, look at what can they do to let you know that they have self knowledge, to let you know that they have empathy, that they have developed, for example, metacognition, that they can interpret or apply their learning. Also, with performance tasks, you want to think about what we refer to as the evaluative criteria. When you are assessing the performance, what types of criteria do students need to meet? What do they need to attain? So, some examples of criteria could be impact. Um, what is the effectiveness of the performance? Content, is it appropriate? Is it relative? What is the quality, the overall rigor of the work that students are demonstrating in their performance? And what is their process? What's the quality of their process? Is it appropriate? Do they use appropriate methods, for example? The other way that we will assess a student's learning is through other evidence. Other evidence refers to such items as quizzes or tests, academic prompts, homework, journals, for example. And in other evidence, what you are essentially assessing is knowledge, skills, standards. Um, the important thing with this section to note is that you're really focusing on really quick things, quick ways that students can really quickly demonstrate whether they are understanding the information. And with this category as well, you do want to again include the evaluative criteria. I will also note, which will be the same for all of the stages, you'll notice that on the left-hand side where it says desired results code, you're going to write down what transfer goals, what knowledge goals for your other evidence or for your performance task, what does that relate back to? Again, the key word is alignment for all of the stages. You want to make sure that everything remains focused. The last piece of information we'll talk about for stage 2 is the grading rubric. When we are evaluating performance tasks, we want to be very transparent with students. Students will need to know, what are they being evaluated on? What are the individual criterion that we're going to look at for each of these stages? In addition to the individual criteria, we also want to know for each criteria, what are the levels of competency that we're looking for each of these. So an example could be, our criteria might be, we might be looking for clarity. We might be looking for accuracy, for collaboration, for example, if students are working in groups. Accessibility, is it accessible to an audience or to other students that have disabilities? And then for each of these criterion, what is considered the cream of the crop? What is considered to be the best performance that a student can show? Is it exemplary? Is it above average? Or is it just sufficient? Or does their performance need revision? Are there significant problems or errors? Or are they not meeting any of the performance criteria that we're looking for? Is there no evidence that is provided? And that concludes stage 2.